The late 2010s would mark a ridiculous time for the wide receiver position. Odell Beckham Jr. had lit the world on fire with his one-handed catch that would forever change recess as we knew it. Antonio Brown, before the CTE, had a technical polish to his game that was unheard of, one of the best route runners to ever play football. Julio Jones was a physical monster with speed and footwork. You've got Calvin Johnson, who would earn the nickname Megatron and required 2 defenders in the end zone. Larry Fitzgerald had some of the most consistent hands of all time. DeAndre Hopkins in Houston, Dez Bryant rocking the legendary Cowboys 88, the late great Demaryius Thomas, Brandon Marshall, Mr. Consistent Mike Evans, the list goes on and on. It was truly an era to remember. But often lost between those names is a player that might have an argument for a prime that was more unstoppable than every single player I mentioned, most of those being Hall of Fame names. The thing is though, his greatness wasn't over the course of a 16-year career like Larry Fitz. It was 4 seasons of dominance that has been untouched since. Despite maybe being overshadowed by Cooper Kupp's jaw-dropping 2021 year or even Jamar Chase last season, Micheal Thomas's campaign in 2019 is a different type of greatness. It's dominant but uniquely efficient in a way that is basically impossible to recreate. Not because he caught 60-yard bombs or mossed defenders, although he did have his moments, but primarily because defenses knew exactly what was coming and had zero chance of stopping it. Mike Thomas was a receiver capable of turning 3rd and 6 into an afterthought. 51.7% of his targets, not even catches, but targets, resulted in first downs. Through his first 4 years, he set the record for most catches and accumulated 5,475 receiving yards, which is also the most among any receiver. Micheal Thomas was the definition of automatic, a type of efficiency and consistency that we haven't really seen before and likely might not ever again. He was on pace to become one of the all-time greats. But whatever happened? Welcome back to another video here on DNA Sports. Make sure you remember to subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. As a small channel, your support means the world, so feel free to drop a like, but also comment your thoughts down below. We can't wait to talk football with you guys, but without wasting any more time, let's get back to the video. To start, let's set the scene on who Thomas is as a player. Standing at 6'3" and around 210 pounds, Thomas carried the frame of a traditional X, maybe even a jump ball specialist. He ran an underwhelming 4.57, especially in a league where receivers are seemingly only getting bigger and faster at the same time, but there were a lot of criticisms about him coming out. His massive catch frame and upside gave Saints fans a lot of hope though. Thomas didn't win the way a lot of receivers did and still do. He wasn't a straight line burner, but he didn't need to be, and maybe the benefit of the offense he was in is that he didn't have to be. His game was built on strength, elite hands, body control, and one of the best understandings of leverage the game has ever seen. At the line of scrimmage, he was unpressable. He fought through contact and won in traffic like it was routine, even from the best of the best. Within the first few seconds of the rep, it felt like Thomas had already put himself 10 feet ahead of the defender. One of my personal favorite teach tape attributes that Thomas possessed was his ability to attack the ball at the high point, ripping it out of the air instead of letting it come to him. Especially with Breeze, Thomas was so in tune with all of the timings on offense, he was never one step behind or ahead. He never drifted and never gave the defense a tell or opportunity to take advantage of anything. He relied on his power and strength, but also operated like a technician, stacking small wins on top of small wins until the defense was overwhelmed play after play after play for the entire game. It is no secret that Micheal Thomas was force-fed the ball, and it often earned him a lot of unwarranted criticism. High volume of targets sometimes suggests inflated production. That is understandable. You hear 150 targets and you assume that the opportunities led to the results. But when you look at the efficiency, that's what makes Micheal Thomas even more abnormal, almost statistically impossible. In that 2019 season, where he would claim the record for most catches in a single season, Thomas caught 149 passes on 185 targets, As volume increases, efficiency often has a natural drop-off, but with Thomas that couldn't be further from the truth. When you really consider the weight and gravity that comes with being thrown the ball almost every single play, Thomas's output becomes historic. He scaled volume and efficiency at the same time. Like I mentioned, the efficiency doesn't stop at completions. 51.7% of the passes thrown his way resulted in first downs. Think about the advantage that this gave Sean Payton when calling plays. Essentially every other throw his direction was a first down. Advanced metrics love Thomas, and his season is one of the most analytically sound ever. With that being said, what holds Micheal Thomas back in these all-time discussions is some of the criticisms lobbied towards him, but I don't think they are all that fair. One of them is that Thomas was limited physically, a possession-only receiver that survived off the back of Drew Brees and a Sean Payton scheme that forced him the ball. And look, there is no denying that the pairing may have helped, but if his dominance was built upon that, you would expect the production to collapse the moment that fades. That's the kicker. It doesn't, and it didn't. In 2019, Drew Brees went down with a thumb injury and missed 5 games, forcing the Saints to turn towards Teddy Bridgewater, a capable backup, but two-glove Teddy is not exactly the Hall of Fame caliber quarterback that Drew Brees was. From 2018 and onwards, Micheal Thomas and Drew Brees would play 23 games, and across that span, he averaged 7.71 catches per game. In a statistic that is almost impossibly true, in his time with Teddy, Micheal Thomas averaged the exact same number, 7.71 catches per game. He didn't lose a step. He put up 52 receptions for 640 yards and 3 touchdowns over just 6 games. He maintained his impressive 78% catch rate and averaged 9 catches for 107 yards per game across the stretch. Then, alongside this comes his nickname, one of Thomas's biggest strengths used against him, Slant Boy, although it sounds a lot less discrediting when you put it like that. The slant is not a gimmick route. It is one of the most important, timing-dependent, physically demanding patterns in football. It requires a quick, strong release and a willingness to absorb contact over the middle. Micheal Thomas didn't just run it, he mastered it to a degree that made it unstoppable. Predictability is supposed to favor the defense. One of the things that gives offense an advantage is the knowledge of what's going to happen before it does. The defense has to react to that. Everyone knew Thomas was going to get the ball, but they just couldn't stop him. Brees was towards the end of his career, and just about everyone also knew that he couldn't launch the ball down the field the way he used to. An answer to this was Thomas's role as a short yardage specialist. But it wasn't just a slant. He ran a variety of out routes, crosses, hitches, comebacks, and especially Sean Payton's specialty, dig routes. Thomas was very effective when it came to getting open in general. He was one of the league leaders in success rate versus man coverage, but he also had contested catch rates of around 55 to 60%, one of the most dominant possession receivers, winning even when he wasn't open. He might have had a low average depth of target, but his efficiency despite that made him a cheat code. However, the relationship would eventually sour between Thomas and the Saints. There was complications over a surgery and potentially his unwillingness to follow through with procedures and another list of injuries, including a brutal high ankle sprain. Thomas would try to play through a couple in order to will Drew Brees to the promised land as a farewell tour, but unfortunately that would never come. And where we are now, it doesn't look like Micheal Thomas is returning to the game anytime soon. An unfortunate ending to what could have been a Hall of Fame career. It reminds me a lot of Derrick Rose personally, a path to be one of the best to ever do it. But sometimes things don't work out that way. So for what Micheal Thomas might lack compared to his contemporaries, I figured to use this video as an opportunity to shine a light on one of the most dominant 4-year stretches and single seasons that the receiver position has ever seen. Thanks for watching another video here on DNA Sports. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and comment your thoughts down below. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so make sure to drop a sub and turn notifications on so you don't miss a single upload. We'll see you in the next one.